Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here. I'm gonna do a semi-live commentary. It's not really live. For some reason, the live commentary version was muted, but the video footage you're seeing is live though. So anyways, I hosted this battle. It's a 1 versus 1, and I wanted to do a free-for-all, but there was nobody in the lobby, so I just went for a 1 versus 1. So this guy joins the game. His name is Jono Peter. Now I gotta tell you, sometimes when you're doing these games on Steam with Rome Total War, you can't see people chatting, because later on he's gonna tell me that he was sending me messages in this chat, but I didn't see him, and I was sending him messages too, and he didn't see them. So that just happens a lot now when you're playing this game on Steam, but it's unavoidable. It happens. Whatever. So anyways, I went with Macedon here, and I'm just going to go with an unorthodox build. So I went with these Royal Pikes. I believe I go with 4 of them, and then I go with 2 Phalanx Pikemen, I believe, and then I'm also going to get some Lancers and a Peasant unit. And with hindsight, I know that the Roman army here, you know, since I've already played this battle, this isn't live anymore. I've already played the battle. My opponent went with gold urban cohort spam and 1 Roman general unit. So with that said, the matchup is, you know, it's going to give me the cavalry edge, but he has the infantry edge. But in a low money battle in Rome Total War, the cavalry edge is usually more decisive, typically anyways. But against gold urbans, it can be pretty precarious when you're using pikes, because those urbans could destroy you, like, really quickly, especially with the pila that they bring. So I brought a unit of peasants as well. And that's not a foolproof countermeasure, but I brought the peasants to absorb his pila. So the game is loading up. And on the map, I could have went with the Syrian Flats. That's a flat map, also in the desert. But I figure that this map, you know, is a better, it'll give you better visuals, you know, visual stimuli, but it's not just pure flat. But for competitive play, the flat maps are the best. But for video sake, you know, the maps with the most terrain differential are the best, at least in my opinion. And you can see that my mouse was kind of screwing up again. It's definitely the left click on my button. Like, sometimes it registers as clicking when I'm not actually clicking. Like, if I let go of the click, it'll register as 2 clicks for some reason. I fixed that temporarily by banging it really hard, which I don't recommend to anybody, because you could actually screw up your mouse, and you can also make your neighbors think you're crazy. So that was my deployment, and yeah, that's when I saw my opponent's army. It's 6 gold urban cohorts and 1 Roman general type unit. And yeah, people were asking me how I can tell how many upgrades he has. Well, let me show you. See the big banner? That's the faction banner, but those 6 little banners beneath it, that represents 6 upgrades. If there were only 2 little banners, that would represent 2 upgrades. You don't know what the upgrades are exactly, but you can guess. I'm guessing that they were gold attack and gold shield upgrades. Typically in low money battle, people don't typically put experience upgrades. I guess if you're using archers, you can afford it, and the experience actually helps them quite a bit. But for heavy units like pikemen or like urbans, then typically you're not going to do that in a 10,000 denarii battle. So yeah, my build is pretty unorthodox. I like doing that in a lot of my fights. But the Lancers, they're considered light cav. They have pretty horrible stats, but they have 2 good stats. One is speed. They have pretty good speed, and secondly, they have a really good charge, considering how cheap they are. And I did look out with my opponent's build here. He does have some really killer infantry. He does have them, but he has no cavalry to speak of, except for his Roman general. So, knowing that, he is going to play more defensively. Now, in this fight, I saw my opponent running towards his left, So I sent out my Lancers to discourage that. I wasn't sure if he was going to hill camp or not. And I know from hindsight he does not hill camp. But I also sent some of my Cavs to go the other way to try to assassinate his general. So 2 were going to the left and the other 3 were going to the right. But he's going to line up his troops right there, so I decided not to pursue the matter. Now, if his general got isolated, I would have pursued his general. But you can see that his general is going to stay behind his urban cohorts, which is enough to discourage me, because if I got close to his urban cohorts, they could discharge their Pila. And also, his general could just turn around and attack my Lancers next to his urbans, and that would have been game over for me, because without my Cav, I have no hope of possibly beating those urbans. But it's only the fact that I have my Cav that I can take out those urban cohorts. Because those are gold, and they equal the number of infantry I have, so they would have definitely destroyed me in a straight up infantry fight. But yeah, as I said, the light lancers do have some pretty good charge and pretty good speed, but they are very fragile. So when you launch them, you have to be pretty decisive in their usage. So this is me lining up. Greek Cav. Not Greek Cav. Light Lances. And I believe I'm going to start sending some, not trash talk, but I guess you could call it playful banter. In a bit. Oh yeah, I put my Cav over there. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing that is, you know, I didn't know who my opponent was. I wasn't sure if he was going to try to run there again. So I put my Lancers there to discourage him from doing that. And also at the same time, it puts my cavalry on his wings. So it was a twofold purpose for that. Now with this setup, I could lead with my phalanx pikemen and my peasants. That way they can absorb the Pila. But in this encounter, I send my peasants in first and my royal pikes. Alright, so here, yeah, I was being a little playful, I guess. I say, you didn't ask me what the rules were. Do you want to know what they were? He says he did. And I do believe him. Because a lot of times when you're typing in that chat in the game, Steam doesn't let you see the messages for whatever reason. So he goes, what? As in what the rules are. Yeah, that's right. That's a 50-cent thing. I said, hey, 50. Nice. So, this guy knows what's up. He knows the 50 cent. That's freaking it, he says. Alright, so yeah, this is where I start leading with my peasants. And sorry if I'm tired sounding, because it's actually, what, 6:30 in the morning when I fought this battle, and when I'm also adding the commentary. I'm trying to do this before work, but I'm not going to upload it until probably tomorrow morning. Like, I rarely upload on the same day that I make the video, do the battle. I mean, I used to do it like right there. Anyway, so I set my Pila up, and he had his urbans on fire at will mode, so look how much Pila he wastes on my peasants here. See, I could understand the first volley, but after that, he probably should have turned off his auto fire. So I'm just gonna charge in. I think he still has some Pila left, but I didn't care at that point. So one of my guys gets plucked with actually 2 of my guys do. So I'm gonna disengage him. And he left 2 urban cohorts in reserve next to his general, so his general's kind of protected, but I'm gonna get my lancers in there. Now the lancers are looking to attack his general and also to get rear charges on his urban cohorts, because without those rear charges, my guys will not survive this fight, even in a frontal fight. Because in Rome 1, yeah, the frontal fight isn't that much of an edge here against the urbans. So yeah, my guys are unleashing hell, apparently. So I get this one unit of light lancers, and I'm gonna get a pretty sweet charge here. Look at that. Look at his numbers dwindling. Down to 72. From over 80. Now they're down to 60-ish. So I probably should have pulled out then. But I was just loving it, so I stuck in a little bit longer. Alright, here I screwed up my charge. I had him in wedge, and I was trying to get a side charge into there, but I screwed it up. There's kind of a not a glitch or a bug. Well, I guess kind of. But if you get it that angle just right, you can just obliterate all those guys. Kind of like a bowling ball, knocking down those pins. But look where his general's at. He's really close to my pikes now. In his bid to get away from my my lancers. So I guess his general got a little happy there, so they went right into my sarissas. Now I get a nice little side charge there on his men, and he's gonna countercharge with his general. But yeah, I've already taken out the first unit of urbans, and it's pretty much game over because without that unit, I outnumber him, his infantry. So my lancers have an easier time of outnumbering him in other sectors. And his general got away, trying to save himself, but he got caught. Now, a Roman general is pretty fast, but you're not going to get away from light cavalry if you try to run too far. So, more of his guys are routing. And he's close with his general dying here. Bam.
The enemy general is slain, and now his men fear us. It is time to press the attack.
So at this point, I wanted to try to kill all those guys without any survivors. So I sent one of my guys up to take out those routing units, and some other lancers to close the gap. I even got my peasants going in there to get more kills. I said GG, but here I'm trying to throw the noose over him and make sure no one gets out. But yeah, you can see a lot of people got out of that trap. We're out of that maneuver. It's not really a trap, it's just a maneuver, I guess. But the game is going to end before I can kill all of them. See what he said? I died trying. I thought that was hilarious.
Would be a better word.
Because when I said the rules were get rich or die trying. That's a 50-cent album, by the way. So he got one guy surviving. But anyways, yeah, good game to Jono. He was a pretty fun sport. I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed this.